Welcome. I'm Randy Osborne. You're listening to the Bible Science for Kids podcast from a uniquely young earth biblical creationist perspective. This is Cycle 2, Lesson Number 2, Land Biomes. But before we start today's lesson, let's do a quick review of our last lesson. Do you remember what occurred on each day of creation? Day 1, God created what? This was the beginning, so first God created what? Time. Also, to have a place to put things, he made an expanse called space. And what matter did God create first? The earth. Covered with what? Water. And what kind of energy did God make on day 1? Light. Day 2, God created what? He gave you 2 nostrils to breathe what? The atmosphere. Day 3, God created dry land. And what to grow on the dry land? Plants. Day 4, God created what? Which helps the plants? The sun. Plus, to help the animals and people, the moon and stars. Day 5, Fluid Habitat Day, God created what? Fish, sea creatures, and birds. Finally, on day 6, God created what? The land animals and our ancestors, Adam and Eve. Who's proud of you? I am. Good job. And now for our lesson, Cycle 2, Lesson 2, Land Biomes. A biome is a large natural community of animals and plants that live together in a place with a particular climate and habitat. The environment of a biome, with its distinct weather patterns, is well suited to the living things of that ecosystem. The animals and plants are well suited to each other. The temperature and the precipitation meets the needs of the animals and plants. It is almost as if they were meant for each other. The living things and the environment work together well in a biome. Let's look at a few definitions. The word adapted is frequently used in studying land biomes. The way most people mean it is adjusted or changed to fit the environment. But compare that with the understanding that adapted means designed. When you look at a plant or an animal, do you really see how it changed? Or do you truly see how it is? Climate is the usual average weather in a place over decades of time. Community refers to animals and plants interacting because they live in the same place. Habitat is that place where a living thing gets its food, shelter, and water. The ecosystem includes the habitat and the community of living things. The environment is everything around a living thing: the air, the water, the soil, the sunlight, and the neighbors. Listen to what God says to us in Isaiah 45, verse 18 of the New King James Version. For thus says the Lord, who created the heavens, who is God, who formed the earth and made it, who established it, who did not create it in vain, who formed it to be inhabited. I am the Lord, and there is no other. Question: what are some land biomes? Answer: some land biomes are the coniferous forest biome, like the taiga or boreal coniferous forest of Alaska, Canada, and Russia. The deciduous forest biome, like the Appalachian temperate forest of the eastern United States. The tropical rainforest biome, like the Amazon rainforest of Brazil and 8 other South American countries. The desert biome, like the dry, sandy Sahara Desert of North Africa. The grassland biome, like the Serengeti grassland in Tanzania, East Africa. The shrubland biome, like the chaparral biome in the state of California, USA. And the tundra biome, like the Arctic tundra in the extreme north of our planet. Long cold winters and short cool summers are good for the day 3 coniferous forest trees like spruce, fir, and pine. Coniferous forest trees are enjoyed by beavers, created by God on day 6. 4 distinct seasons, including a warm, wet summer and a cool, dry winter, are good for deciduous forests of beech, hickory, maple, and oak trees, created by God on day 3. Deciduous forest trees are enjoyed by squirrels, created by God on day 6. These deciduous forest trees shed their brightly colored leaves in the fall, when shorter times of daylight warn that winter is coming. The sun really is God's clock made on day 4. Tropical rainforest biodiversity includes millions of species of plants, animals, and insects, some not found anywhere else on Earth. Nicknamed the lungs of the Earth due to the volume of oxygen produced, the tropical rainforest is the hot and wet home to the day 3 rubber tree and the day 6 jaguar. Jaguar in the Inca language means the creature that kills with one bite. I thank God that I got to go visit the tropical rainforest in June of 2018. I got to see and film jaguars safely from a riverboat, and I got to teach the gospel to the local people. What a blessing. Deserts are typically places with harshly extreme temperatures, very hot days and very cold nights, because deserts do not have a blanket of clouds to reflect sunlight away during the daytime, and deserts do not have a blanket of clouds to hold the heat in at nighttime. Deserts are typically dry, sandy places, located at 30 degrees north latitude or 30 degrees south latitude, with almost no vegetation, except for the cactus and yucca plants, created by God on day 3. The yucca plant is pollinated only by the yucca moth. The yucca moth lays its eggs only in the yucca flower, because when those eggs hatch, the yucca larvae only eat yucca seeds. Obligate mutualism like this, where two things absolutely need each other, cannot evolve little by little over long time spans, because they cannot reproduce without each other. Yucca larvae live for only 1 year, about 4 days of which is as an adult moth. The deserts are dry because gravity pulls dense, dry air, created by God on day 2, straight down to the surface of the land, created by God on day 3, at 30 degrees north latitude and 30 degrees south latitude. Despite their harsh conditions, deserts are home to a surprising variety of life and have supported human cultures for thousands of years. The Serengeti grassland in Tanzania, East Africa, hosts one of the most spectacular yearly wildlife migrations on Earth. Millions of wildebeest, zebras, and other plant-eating herbivores, created by God on day 6, move across the plains, followed by predators like lions and hyenas. God created the grass of the grassland on day 3, which is enjoyed by the prairie dogs, made by God on day 6. The chaparral shrubland biome has dense evergreen shrubs and small trees created by God on day 3, designed to survive and thrive in hot, dry summers and mild, wet winters. The chaparral shrubland is known for its unique plants designed to withstand fire, like the scrub oak, whose underground stems and roots regenerate and resprout after fire. The coyotes, created by God on day 6, enjoy the chaparral shrubland biome. The Arctic tundra has cold, harsh climate, permafrost, permanently frozen ground, and low-growing vegetation created by God on day 3, like mosses, lichens, and small shrubs. Arctic tundra wildlife includes migratory birds created by God on day 5, caribou, Arctic foxes, and polar bears created by God on day 6. People invented fiber optic cable after learning about the total internal reflection of light by the hairs of the polar bear. Faster, lighter, more durable, thinner, yet able to handle 1,000 times as much information as the old copper cables. A lichen is a cooperating partnership known as a mutualistic symbiosis. This arrangement allows two organisms to live together in a harsh place where neither one could survive alone. The lichen's structure, moisture, and protection is provided by a fungus, while its food is supplied by a photosynthesizing algae. Question: what are some land biomes? Answer: some land biomes are coniferous forest, like the taiga or boreal forests of Alaska and Canada. Deciduous forest, like the Appalachian temperate deciduous forest of the eastern U.S. Tropical rainforest, like the Amazon rainforest of South America. Desert, like the Sahara Desert of North Africa. Grasslands, like the Serengeti grassland in Tanzania, East Africa. Shrublands, like the chaparral biome in the state of California, USA. And tundra, like the Arctic tundra in the extreme north of the Earth. All of these plants, with their various kinds of seeds, remind me that the best inventions are made when we observe and copy God's creation. Have you ever heard of Velcro? George Demestrel from Sweden noticed that the hooks on the seeds of cockleburs stuck to his dog's fur and even to the loops of thread in the fabric of his own socks after an outdoor adventure. He wondered how it worked, so he studied it, and he copied the loops and hooks that God had already made, and he invented Velcro. He sold 60 million yards of Velcro per year and became a multi-millionaire by noticing, studying, and copying God's creation to benefit other people. Listen again to what God says to us in Isaiah 45:18, the New King James Version. For thus says the Lord, who created the heavens, who is God, who formed the earth and made it, who has established it, who did not create it in vain, who formed it to be inhabited. I am the Lord, and there is no other. Thank you for listening to the Bible Science for Kids podcast from a uniquely young earth biblical creationist perspective. I hope to see you next time for Cycle 2, Lesson 3, Consumers, Until next time, this is Randy Osborne, reminding you to keep trusting and serving the Lord.